Tonight's non-conference matchup is between the NJIT Highlanders and your California Baptist University Lancers. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Veterans Day, a day to salute those who gave up themselves to serving our country. At this time, we ask that all of our veterans who have served in the United States military to please rise so that you may be recognized with a round of applause of appreciation from those you have helped to defend. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please join our veterans and rise for a moment of silence to honor the men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our country. Today, we salute those who have given their lives from the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard with a moment of silence. Following the moment of silence, we ask that you please remain standing for a word of prayer and the performance of our national anthem. Let's pray. Father, today we honor our veterans, worthy men and women who have given their best when they were called upon to serve and protect their country. We pray that you'll bless them for their unselfish service and their continual struggle to preserve our freedoms, our safety, and our country's heritage for all of us. Now tonight we thank you that we can come together and enjoy this athletic fellowship together. We thank you for these two teams and the institutions that they represent. We pray that everything that is said and done tonight on and off the court will glorify you. Please help all the competitors to play to the best of their ability. Keep everyone involved in tonight's game free from injury, and we ask this all in the name of your son, Jesus. Amen. For the performance of our national anthem, please welcome Chance McDonald. Coach for the Highlanders is Brian Kennedy, assisted by Art Lotowski, Ricardo Rush Jr., Sandy Manuel, and Mike Hamlin.
be pissed.
Got a little extra spice in my shit.
Cal would be pissed.
Armstrong finishes and one. 2-on-1. Jelani goes up strong. Very foul. Kick it out. Right wing three. Green got it.
From the CBU Event Center in Riverside, California Baptist continues this three-game homestand to start off the season against the New Jersey Institute of Technology Highlanders. Good evening, everyone. Delighted to have you along tonight. I'm Travis Vanotti. Both teams looking to get in the win column for the first time this season. Things did not go as planned for the Lancers here on Monday night against Long Beach State as the Beach won 79-64. Meanwhile, NJIT, they lost at St. Peter's, the darlings of last year's March Madness tournament. They came up short to the Peacocks, 73-59. So two teams hungry for a win this evening on this Friday night. Should be a good meeting between CBU and NJIT. It's a packed house here at the Event Center as well. A great atmosphere. I'm so glad you're along with us on this Friday night on ESPN+. Take a look at the starters. First of all, for the Highlanders, brought to you by Altura Credit Union, guard Raheem Sullivan, forward Miles Coleman, forward Kevin Osawe, forward Suleiman De La Quite, and guard Paul McMullen at the fourth. As for the Lancers, their starting five: guard Riley Batten, guard Taron Armstrong, guard Joe Quintana, who makes his Lancer debut, guard Blondo Chiqueno, and forward Malik Wade, the returner. We'll certainly look to see a different Lancer club this evening against NJIT. Rick Croy getting his troops charged up. Let's take a look at our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Jensen. Lancers need to be better in the paint. They were outscored in the post 46-22 against the Beach. And the Lancers also need more bench scoring from Monday night. They were outscored by Long Beach State 29-12. As for NJIT, they need to be a little bit sharper from the stripe, as they only went 17 for 27. That's only 63% from the free throw line against St. Peter's. So we'll see if those two teams can adjust just the second game of the season. The two number 21s on the opening tip-off, Wade against Diakite. And it's one to Taron Armstrong. Armstrong goes to work on Raheem Sullivan. Where's Taron Armstrong expected to lead the way for the Lancers this season in all preseason WAC selection. Taron Armstrong, such a strong freshman year. There's Blondo Chiqueno. Plays back to Joe Quintana, graduate student guard from LMU, just off the mark, and rebounds corralled by Kevin Osawe. I'm interested to see how Quintana does. Again, the transfer from Loyola Marymount. The Highlanders working around the horn. Osawe to Sullivan. Played back up top. A good ball movement by the Highlanders, but haven't been able to get it in deep until now. Only 5 seconds to shoot. It's kicked out, and the deep try goes in for Miles Coleman. Well, Coleman, senior forward, He is the straw that stirs the drink for NJIT, their leading scorer from last year. Miles Coleman. Armstrong looks to answer. Needs some help. Able to find Quintana. And it rattles out. Pulled down again by Osawe. Osawe, graduate student forward, transferred from Arkansas Little Rock. A couple of boards early on. A Toronto native. McMillan, the highly touted freshman. He's the highest ranked prospect ever for NJIT. As that shot a little shallow from Osawe. Quickly the other way, it's Chiqueño. Chiqueño strips, and that goes off of Chiqueño, and it's turned over to NJIT. A tough break there for Chiqueño with a sophomore guard. 31 minutes, 4 points in his Lancer debut with a transfer, Chiqueño. Early on, NJIT better on the boards. See, the Lancers can do a little bit better in that regard. Sullivan, Toronto native, dishes to Diakite. And Coleman kicks it out to McMillan. 3 seconds to shoot for Sullivan. That's an air ball. Good defensive set that time for the Lancers. All on the outside against the Highlanders. There's Riley Batten, a transfer from Utah, but a Southern California native. It's turned over, then it's stripped by Chiqueño. And Batten for the easy slam. Batten in his Lancer debut, a double-double against Long Beach State. 34 minutes, 16 points, 13 rebounds. And the Pac-12 transfer in Batten. As we mentioned, a Southern California native. Deep try is again shallow from Coleman, goes out of bounds. As a pair check-in. Jelani Stone for the Lancers. And it's Mikai Gray for the Highlanders. Well, obviously, normally when we talk about the Highlanders, we're talking about UC Riverside and the Crosstown Showdown. But tonight's the Highlanders of NJIT, the New Jersey Institute of Technology. And the shot by Quintana's off the mark. Sullivan goes the other way. So far, the Lancers just 1 for 4 overall from the floor. NJIT has really worked the shot clock in the first 3.5 minutes. And Gray, who just came in the game, plays to Sullivan all the way across. And good hands from Osawe. Reach-in foul. That one's on Chiqueño. Reed Nottage checks in, as well as Hunter Goodrick. Goodrick, his Lancer debut. Redshirt sophomore forward, transfer from South Dakota. One of a handful of transfers for the Lancers this season. And you get a good look at Goodrick. Now, Lancer fans are excited to see Goodrick and Quintana, two highly touted transfers who did not play on opening night. It's played to Diakite. Sawe used to work on Trey Armstrong. NJIT regroups in neutral court. Sullivan. Stone backs away. A wide open look for Gray. And he gets it. Well, both buckets so far for NJIT from deep. Nottage, the veteran, plays to Taron Armstrong.
Medium, Mike.
A foul. That one's on Osawe. We'll step aside. First time out of the night is NJIT is up by 4.
Doctors who care for you and about you. It's the Riverside Medical Clinic way. We're physician-owned. That means medicine is always practiced in a way that benefits the patient first. Incredible care is waiting at one of our 7 locations near you. Come feel the difference. We are Riverside Medical Clinic.
What if you could spend your breaks living alongside other students, learning how to live every day like it's a new opportunity to share the life-changing hope of Jesus with anyone you meet? And what if in the process you find your purpose, you find your calling, and this world that feels too big to change begins changing one life at a time through you? This is more than an experience. This is a new way of living. It's life on mission.
Conventional wisdom says breakfast is the most important meal. But at Provider Food Services, we believe that every meal you enjoy with us is the most important meal. Voted #1, this ideal drives us to bring you curated, chef-driven cuisine and composed meal experiences every single time. Whether you're dining with us or partnering with us, we want to give you the best and safest experience. So in these busiest of days, let's always enjoy the most important meal.
Center in Riverside, I'm Travis Van Noting. Let's take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Dutton Cadillac. The Lancers, Taryn Armstrong had a strong opening night against Long Beach State, 19 points to lead the Lancers, and Riley Batten, the double-double against the Beach. Meanwhile, Miles Coleman, the leading scorer for NJIT last year. He was top 10 as well in the America East Conference in points per game and rebounding. And the other is Suleiman Diakite. Diakite, a nice debut, had a team-high 16 points against St. Peter's earlier this week. So before the break, a foul on Diakite. It's the Jiktat Osawe. Well, the foul on Osawe. One foul apiece early on. So Lancers look to get back in it. Goodrick. Double teamed. Sullivan got just a piece of it. Goodrick able to get it though. The first 2 points in a Lancer uniform for Hunter Goodrick, a South Dakota transfer. And a nice job to withstand that double team and get the last second bucket. Quickly fed to Coleman. And just like that, he gets the 2 points back. And 15.6 points per game last year for Coleman. Led the Highlanders, top 10 in the America East, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Goodrick again goes one-on-one against Osawe. Takes it right to the hoop for another pair. Goodrick proving tough to handle in the low post for the Highlanders. The New Jersey Tech in Newark. And all the way out here for a pair, as that is traveling. Coleman. Malik Wade checks back in. Well, Wade, 10 minutes as a starter on opening night. Just a couple of points, both on free throws. Bit of a slow start for Wade, but he'll be expected to have a good season for CBU. Now a sophomore forward. Taryn Armstrong to his brother Trey. Back to Taryn. Armstrong into the corner. Out of control Nottage, but Trey Armstrong's there to get it back. Wide open look for Trey, and he gets it. First tray of the night for Trey, and the Lancers have their first lead. A good ball movement by the Lancers that time. And they grab their first lead. Lancers 3 of their last 3. They're starting to heat up. Sullivan plays to Coleman. And into the corner. Pass deflects off of Troy Armstrong, but right to the Highlanders again. Diakite with the hook shot, it's good. And the Highlanders get the lead back. Well, the reason why NJIT is called the Highlanders, they're located in University Heights. That's a deep try from Taryn Armstrong, and he gets it back. A back-to-back trays from the Armstrong brothers. Both teams hot right now. The Lancers 4 of their last 4. NJIT 3 of their last 3. Also, NJIT's former mailing address was on High Street. So with all those high connections. NJIT decided to call the Highlanders. Moved up to Division I in 2006. There's a foul there on Wade.
That's his first, team second.
Osawe checks out. Isle Nankin checks in for Osawe. A real good start on offense for both teams. Sullivan inbounds. And finds Gray. Gray, one of 3 players to play all 29 games last year for the Highlanders. That's a nice move. And the bucket for Diakite. Diakite actually speaks 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish, and 2 dialects. Diakite from Mali. That's a nice response by the Lancers. Goodrick. Nice shot in the arm offensively for the Lancers. Hunter Goodrick already has 6 points. Sullivan plays into the corner, and that went off of the referee, and it's turned over to the Lancers. A tough break that time for Raheem Sullivan from Toronto. Attended Central Tech High School with his now teammate at NJIT, Kevin Osawe. Sullivan and Osawe, both Toronto natives, play for the same high school and have followed each other to NJIT. Chiqueno back in with 1 foul. Goodrick, soft hands, goes to work on Nankin. Nankin from Israel. Goodrick, the fadeaway, nothing but nets. How about Hunter Goodrick? 4 for 4 from the floor. Tough opponent for NJIT to start the season against St. Peter's, who shocked everyone, of course, last spring. Beating Kentucky and making it all the way to the Final Four. 73-59 the score. As St. Peter's was in full control of that one from start to finish. St. Peter's is also in New Jersey. That's a deep 2. Off of the iron, no good from Gray. All-rookie team in 2021 for Mackay Gray. One of 2 all-rookie teams in America East now for NJIT. Good rebound from Demir Faison. Highlanders continue to impress on the boards. As things now slow down a bit after a hot start. Well, McMillan, as we talked about earlier, the highest rated prospect ever for the Highlanders program, Ohio State Player of the Year from the Cincinnati area. Number 34, Paul McMillan IV. Just 4 seconds to shoot for Diakite. Plays it all the way across, and that's a shot clock violation. But the Lancers outlast the Highlanders this time. As we have another timeout on the floor, the Lancers lead it by 4 in Riverside.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Moreno Valley, California, and I've been with Altura Credit Union since 2017. Family time is extremely important. Being able to just pull my phone out and just go right on the app while the kids are over there doing whatever they're doing, I'm able to just go on the app really quick, transfer money, or check my account, see if my deposits went through right away. With my Ascend checking account, I'm also able to check my credit score. I don't ever have to worry about anything in my bank account. Did I mention it was free?
Introducing bubbly sparkling water crack a smile.
Well, it is Veterans Day. We want to give our thanks to each and every veteran watching this evening and here at the CBU Event Center for their service. Lancers' previous media timeout honored one of the veterans here in attendance this evening. We appreciate your sacrifice for our country. We got a good one here. 4-point game in favor of the Lancers. CBU 6 of their last 7. New Jersey Tech 4 of their last 5. However, NJIT has a 2-minute scoring drought. The Lancers have been able to get a little bit more breathing room. Before the break, a shot clock violation. The Lancers look to get 2 more points as Taron Armstrong is fouled. Well, that one's on Justin Anderson. Takes it hard to the paint and draws the contact. So the first shooting foul of the evening. Armstrong 5 for 6 on Monday night against Long Beach State from the line. Picked up right where he left off last season. Team high 19 points in 38 minutes for Taron Armstrong, who certainly has garnered draft interest once again. We'll see if it does indeed come to fruition this year for Taron Armstrong, but the Lancers, of course, are happy to have him back. Well, the Lancers extend the lead. This is their largest. New Jersey Tech, very methodical offense. They love to work the shot clock. Adam Hess, the former Lancer, with it. Plays it down low. Nice pass into the corner. And that one's a little bit off the mark from McMillan. The rebounds collected by Osawe. Osawe again goes to work, leaves for Hess. Played 1 year for the Lancers back in 2018, 2019, the first in Division I. Nice shots. It's NJIT out of the drought. There is Suleiman Diakite. Major contact beneath the basket. This Chiqueño's all right. So that foul is on Diakite. Major contact on Blondo Chiqueño. The Lancers head right back to the line. Chiqueño, no free throws on Monday. The Montreal, Quebec native. A bit shallow on his first career try as a Lancer. As we mentioned, this is 2 of 3 at home to start the season. The Lancers will play CSUN on Tuesday. And they'll head out on the road against Washington as Chiqueño misses both, but Batten gets the rebounds. And the Lancers fortunate there. They're big. Batten. Armstrong to Batten. The Lancers working around the horn. Chiqueño. Shallow. Another rebound for Batten. Stone underneath the basket. Draws some contact. Well, NJIT can't believe it. But back-to-back fouls on Diakite. That gives him 2. And the Lancers turn to get a couple of key rebounds. Rebounds are even so far. 6 for the Lancers, 5 for the Highlanders. Checking in is Kel de Graaf from Netherlands. Julani Stone, 18 minutes, 3 points on Monday. Went 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Can't get the back half. Well, McMillan, the Ohio State Player of the Year, also valedictorian of his high school. A great student as well as a great basketball player. And NJIT really excited about McMillan. Could be an all-time great for the Highlanders program. Osawe to the former Lancer Hess, but he's off the mark. So Hess has had an interesting route after playing 1 year for the Lancers, 18-19, went to Salt Lake College, then transferred to UTEP, his second stint in D1. Then he transferred to Eastern New Mexico, a Division II school. And now he's found a home at NJIT for the graduate student guard, Adam Hess. Good to see him again here in Riverside. From Ventura County, Quintana, nice bounce pass to Stone. He's double teamed, and he's fouled. Stone has proved to be a pest in the low post as that foul is on Hess.
First personal, team foul number 5.
Take a look again at the aggressiveness of Julani Stone. And Hess on his backside got the arm. Well, NJIT in the America East Conference as Coleman checks back in. There are 9 teams in America East: Albany, Binghamton, Bryant, which is in Rhode Island, Maine, UMBC, of course famous for beating Virginia as a 16 seed, UMass Lowell, New Hampshire, and Vermont as Goodrich checks back in. That's a nice conference, the America East. NJIT, formerly in the ASUN Conference, the Atlantic Sun. They joined the America East Conference in 2020. For a couple of years after joining Division I, they were an independence program. McMillan fortunate to get that ball back. And now he kicks it out to Osawe, and he drains it. Big three-pointer from Kevin Osawe. Went to Western Kentucky first at Osawe, then Arkansas Little Rock. Oh, the Lancers almost to get it back there. McMillan gets his instructions from Brian Kennedy, the 7th-year head coach of NJIT, and they slow it down once again. Check away from the ball. Well, that one's on Blondo Chiqueno, his second. Lancers still up as we head to break.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Moreno Valley, California, and I've been with Altura Credit Union since 2017. Family time is extremely important. Being able to just pull my phone out and just go right on the app while the kids are over there doing whatever they're doing, I'm able to just go on the app really quick, transfer money, or check my account, see if my deposits went through right away. With my Ascend checking account, I'm also able to check my credit score. I don't ever have to worry about anything in my bank account. Did I mention it was free?
Like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Root for the credit union that roots for you. Altura Credit Union, proud sponsor of CBU Athletics and presenter of the Athlete of the Week. Our athletes of the week are from wrestling, Mitchell Messenbrink, and women's dive, Natalia Bedola. The Messenbrink last weekend went 2-0 against Cal Poly and Vanguard to start off his career for the freshman. An impressive debut for Mitchell Messenbrink, and congratulations as well to Natalia Bedola. Well, as we went to break, there's a foul on Chiqueno, his second to Lancers' third. Deep try, bounces in from Miles Coleman. Wow. Talk about getting the breaks. Miles Coleman, nicely done. Wade is back in the game. Chiqueno flashes through the lane. Wade out to Goodrick. Goodrick, though, caught walking. A 1-point game as we're past the halfway mark of the opening half. Hope you're enjoying it on ESPN+. 6-0 run all of a sudden for NJIT. The Lancers without a field goal over the last 4.5 minutes. It was a hot start for both teams, and the Lancers kind of took over, and now it's going NJIT's way. McMillan to DeGraaf, and he buries it. Now, Kel DeGraaf from the Netherlands actually played for Canarias Academy in Spain, which is generally regarded as the top prep school in all of Europe, both academically and athletically. And he's found a home in Division I. Goodrick gets it right back. Goodrick continues his strong start now. 10 points, 5 for 5 from the floor. That finally breaks the Lancers' drought. There have been over 80 Division I prospects from that prep school in Spain, Canarias, over the last few years. It is a breeding ground for great athletes. That one rattles out this time from Coleman. And Quintana goes the other way. And it's laid up and in. Taron Armstrong. Goodrick, the first player tonight in double digits. Quick passing again from NJIT. It's turned over. Now NJIT doubling up the Lancers in turnovers. Raheem Sullivan checks back in as Goodrick inbounds. Trey Armstrong finds Goodrick. Again, he's double teamed, and it's rejected. Last touch by NJIT, but Osawe. Oh, no, check that. It was last touched by the Lancers. Osawe, nice job to swipe the ball from behind and force that turnover. Sullivan takes it hard and draws some contacts. Trey Armstrong.
Trey Armstrong, that is his first fourth-team foul.
Both teams in pretty good shape foul-wise.
Raheem Sullivan.
Sullivan 2 for 3. The season opener against St. Peter's. Sullivan 30 minutes off the bench and had a team-high 8 rebounds. Also had 13 points against St. Peter's. It was a good start for Sullivan, the graduate student guard transfer from Marist. Marist is in New York, and he misses the front half. Able to calm himself to get the back end. Though NJIT, in kind of a roundabout way, has a WAC connection. They were in the Great West Conference for a while. That league disbanded in 2013 because Chicago State, UTRGV, and Utah Valley all joined the WAC that year, and NJIT was the only school left in the Great West, so they had to find a new conference, and the Great West then became defunct. As DeGraaf pulls down the rebound, then falls to the floor, needs some help, and finds Osawe. 2-on-2 for NJIT, but now the Lancers get back. Kel DeGraaf hard on the floor, able to keep possession for NJIT. And of course, those three schools kind of formed what we now know as the WAC, minus Chicago State now, of course. Osawe needs some help and finds the man in motion, Sullivan. Shot off the mark, and Taron Armstrong pulls down the rebounds. Armstrong watched by Gray. The Lancers set up. Armstrong tries to spin away from Gray, meets him step for step and strips him. Great defensive set by Mackay Gray. And Armstrong gets it right back. They tried to feed Gray in deep, but Trey wasn't having any of it. Trey Armstrong to Goodrick. Goodrick all the way across. Good hands from Quintana. Quintana from deep. You bet. But Quintana, his first 3 points as a Lancer. NJIT goes right back to a methodical approach. They haven't really changed their style. And a jumper's off the mark. NJIT goes a little cold. No field goals over the last 3 minutes, 40 seconds for the Highlanders. Taron Armstrong to Wade. Trey Armstrong, catch and shoot, too shallow. And a rebound again, Osawe. Osawe already with 6 rebounds. It's a pair, maybe actually 4 players. Looks like wait to check in for the Lancers. Meanwhile, a foul. Well, the foul is on Trey Armstrong. As we have another timeout. Lancers lead it by 4 as we're getting late in the first half.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no cow singing over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Doctors who care for you and about you. It's the Riverside Medical Clinic way. We're physician-owned. That means medicine is always practiced in a way that benefits the patient first. Incredible care is waiting at one of our 7 locations near you. Come feel the difference. We are Riverside Medical Clinic.
Well, so far tonight, it's been the Hunter Goodrick show for the Lancers. 10 points, 5 for 6 from the floor. Can't get much better. Lancer debut for Hunter Goodrick. Been very tough to handle, obviously, in the low post. Victimized a couple of Highlanders so far. Had been 5 for 5 before his last shot. It was just off the mark. That was perhaps his prettiest, the fadeaway jumper. And again, just takes it hard to the paint. The hook shots off for the iron and good. What a pickup for California Baptist, Hunter Goodrick. Well, Trey Armstrong called for his second foul before we stepped aside. Fouls team-wise evened up. Nobody has more than 2 as the Highlanders step out of bounds. The Lancers get the ball back. Almost 3 minutes between points for NJIT. Quintana, oh, we got a foul in the post. Well, this one's on Mackay Gray.
That's his first team foul, number 6.
A couple of fouls back-to-back away from the ball. One on Trey Armstrong, now one on Mackay Gray. Quintana thought about it. Gives it to Batten. Chiquinho takes it hard to the paint off of the glass and rolls out. Another rebound for Osawe. And so key in this first half. for NJIT. Sawe with the ball again. Sullivan to DeGraff. DeGraff as well, a graduate student forward. Just got his chemical engineering degree, did DeGraff last year from NJIT. From the corner, the shot from Gray shallow. Stone goes the other way. Quintana wide open, why not? Sawe again with the board. And Batten gets the arm. Check that. Reed Nottage with the foul. So Nottage is first. NJIT been playing from behind a majority of the first half. And look for a strong finish. DeGraff kicks it out to Gray. Sawe across, Coleman. 5 to shoot, makes a move and takes it off of the iron and deflects to Batten. A key possession that NJIT comes up empty on. Nottage all the way in. Didn't like the looks of it, Quintana, with under a minute to play. Taron Armstrong around the pick and roll. Batten to Quintana. Again, takes it hard, and he's rejected by DeGraff. Coleman, the alley-oop to Gray. And the whistle goes. NJIT calls for timeout. A nice alley-oop to get to within 2. Take another look at it. Coleman to Mackay Gray. No chance for CBU. Teams have traded scoring droughts throughout this first half. Now it's the Lancers, 3 minutes, 5 seconds without a point. As the Lancers look to play for final shot here, potentially. Just 5-second difference, game clock to shot clock, pretty much 6 actually. And really the score reflects how it's gone. Both teams, 10 field goals on the night. The Lancers shooting 45.5%, NJIT shooting 47.6%. Lancers in no hurry, of course. Taron Armstrong and Gray. Both all rookie in their respective conference, Armstrong and Gray. Armstrong now gets it going. Quintana, a deep 3, nothing but net. Quintana, a huge bucket. All 6 of his points have come from deep. One last try is shallow. And that's the way the first half comes to a close. The Lancers get a little bit of breathing room as we are through the first 20 here from Riverside.
What if you could spend your breaks living alongside other students, learning how to live every day like it's a new opportunity to share the life-changing hope of Jesus with anyone you meet? And what if in the process you find your purpose, you find your calling, and this world that feels too big to change begins changing one life at a time through you? This is more than an experience. This is a new way of living. It's life on mission.
Conventional wisdom says breakfast is the most important meal. But at Provider Food Services, we believe that every meal you enjoy with us is the most important meal. Voted number 1, this ideal drives us to bring you curated, chef-driven cuisine and composed meal experiences every single time. Whether you're dining with us or partnering with us, we want to give you the best and safest experience. So in these busiest of days, let's always enjoy the most important meal.
At Magnolia, we've been around so long because we're always on the cutting edge. Let Magnolia help you modernize your comfort. with our new all-electric, ultra-efficient comfort systems. Magnolia Heating and Cooling, trusted in Riverside since 1951.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Moreno Valley, California, and I've been with Altura Credit Union since 2017. Family time is extremely important. Being able to just pull my phone out and just go right on the app while the kids are over there doing whatever they're doing, I'm able to just go on the app really quick, transfer money, or check my account, see if my deposits went through right away. With my Ascend checking account, I'm also able to check my credit score. I don't ever have to worry about anything in my bank account. Did I mention it was free?
Well, welcome back to the CBU Event Center in Riverside. I'm Travis Vanodi. It's halftime. Game 2 of the season for both the Lancers and the Highlanders. Our Magnolia Heating and Cooling hot play from the first half. Quintana, the deep three later on in the opening 20 minutes. And how about that pass from Taryn Armstrong as well, behind the back. The Lancers' best passer shows off the skills there. So Quintana, a nice Lancer debut so far. 6 points, and both of them have come from deep. Earlier today, the Lancers men's soccer team defeated the #1 seed Air Force 2-0. Goal in the 55th minute from Brian Elioen, and then Leo Mendez sealed the deal in the 64th minute to win their semifinal match against the defending WAC tournament champs. So they will face off against the #2 seed San Jose State on Sunday at 1 p.m. You can watch it on ESPN Plus if you're out of the area. Or if you're in the area, please show up to the CBU Soccer Stadium. Pack that place. The Lancers have a chance their first year in Division I to qualify for the NCAA tournament if they can beat San Jose State. So congratulations to the men's soccer team. What a big victory against Air Force over across campus at the CBU Soccer Stadium. We'll be back with more here from the CBU Event Center in a moment.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Moreno Valley, California, and I've been with Altura Credit Union since 2017. Family time is extremely important. Being able to just pull my phone out and just go right on the app while the kids are over there doing whatever they're doing, I'm able to just go on the app really quick, transfer money, or check my account, see if my deposits went through right away. With my Ascend checking account, I'm also able to check my credit score. I don't ever have to worry about anything in my bank account. Did I mention it was free?
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
At Magnolia, we've been around so long because we're always on the cutting edge. Let Magnolia help you modernize your comfort with our new all-electric, ultra-efficient comfort systems. Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Trusted in Riverside since 1951.
Conventional wisdom says breakfast is the most important meal. But at Provider Food Services, we believe that every meal you enjoy with us is the most important meal. Voted number 1, this ideal drives us to bring you curated, chef-driven cuisine and composed meal experiences every single time. Whether you're dining with us or partnering with us, we want to give you the best and safest experience. So in these busiest of days, let's always enjoy the most important meal.
Once again, back at the CBU Event Center in Riverside, I'm Travis Van Ode. Halftime, the Lancers lead it by 5 over the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Our halftime highlights brought to you by Pepsi. Riley Batten, an early slam. Batten is only 2 points of the evening. And then Hunter Goodrick went to work, the only player in double digits so far tonight. Goodrick 5 for 6 from the floor overall. Taron Armstrong steps back for a nice tray. Armstrong has 7 points tonight. Goodrick, the nice hook shot, arguably his best one. Out of all of them, Taron Armstrong able to maintain his balance for that layup. Joe Quintana from way deep. He's got 6 points so far tonight in his Lancer debut. And the halftime stats also brought to you by Pepsi. Field goal percentage is pretty even. The Lancers have made 11 overall from the floor. New Jersey Tech has made 10, so pretty even there. Rebounds are dead even, as well as the assists. And from deep, Lancers getting a little bit more production, points in the paint-wise, and they're also getting a lot more from their bench. They have doubled up NJIT 16-8 in points off of the bench, and that's why the Lancers have really been able to have a nice advantage over the Highlanders. We'll go ahead and step aside once more as they got a packed house tonight in Riverside. They're enjoying themselves. The Lancers up by 5.
Gentlemen, move your feet. Like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Doctors who care for you and about you. It's the Riverside Medical Clinic way. We're physician-owned. That means medicine is always practiced in a way that benefits the patient first. Incredible care is waiting at one of our 7 locations near you. Come feel the difference. We are Riverside Medical Clinic.
What if you could spend your breaks living alongside other students, learning how to live every day like it's a new opportunity to share the life-changing hope of Jesus with anyone you meet? And what if in the process you find your purpose, you find your calling, and this world that feels too big to change begins changing one life at a time through you? This is more than an experience. This is a new way of living. It's life on mission.
Conventional wisdom says breakfast is the most important meal. But at Provider Food Services, we believe that every meal you enjoy with us is the most important meal. Voted number 1, this ideal drives us to bring you curated, chef-driven cuisine and composed meal experiences every single time. Whether you're dining with us or partnering with us, we want to give you the best and safest experience. So in these busiest of days, let's always enjoy the most important meal.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Once again, back at the CBU Event Center in Riverside, I'm Travis Fanotti. We're almost set to go over the second half between CBU and NJIT. Of course, before the season started on Monday against Long Beach State, the Lancers held Midnight Madness. Enjoy all the highlights from that evening. Always a fun evening here at the Event Center. Preseason Midnight Madness. The Lancers lead it by 5 as they're getting warmed up again on the court. Let's take a look at our second half changes. Those are brought to you by Jensen. New Jersey Tech needs some more from the bench. Lancers are outscored them 16-8. Players off the bench. And both teams need to work on offensive rebounds. The rebounds are even overall 13 apiece. NJIT has 12 defensive rebounds. The Lancers have 11, so only 3 offensive rebounds combined between the two teams. So if it stays close, whoever can get a little bit more offensive rebounds might have a chance to pull away a little bit. And for CBU, it hasn't really come back to bite them a lot tonight, but the Lancers need to watch the turnovers. The Lancers have 10 and NJIT only has 3. So if they can limit the rebounds, go a long way to securing a victory this evening. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. The Lancers lost on Monday to Long Beach State 79-64. Obviously not the way they wanted it to go. But a much better game so far tonight for the Lancers, and NJIT, their second of 3 straight to begin the season on the road. They lost to St. Peter's earlier this week, 73-59, but again, no shame in that. The Peacocks, of course, made it all the way to the Final Four last year, shocking the basketball world. Well, again, the leading scorer for the Lancers is Hunter Goodrick, 10 points, the only player with double digits in points. Leading scorer for NJIT, no surprise, their leading scorer from last year, Miles Coleman. The Lancers led for 12.5 minutes in the opening half. It was even to begin. The Lancers had a surge, then NJIT had a surge. And the Lancers to kind of finish things strong at the end of that first half. It's a fun atmosphere tonight here at the Event Center. First Friday evening game, you knew the fans would come out for this one, and they certainly have. Oh, the starters for the Lancers, Taron Armstrong, Batten, along with Chiquinho, Quintana, and Wade. Yeah, no player has more than 2 fouls. Both teams are looking good foul-wise. And the second half is underway. Well, Paul McMillan, the 4th, starts it off. Sullivan Feeds to Diakite. NJIT goes right back to work, eating up the shot clock. McMillan kicks it out to Sullivan. A little shallow. And Wade dives down to grab the loose ball. NJIT wanted to travel on Wade. They don't get it. That one too strong. Batten the offensive board. Creeps in and gets the hook. An early offensive board for Batten, and he gets the 2. Oh, Batten now 4 points on the evening. Foul away from the ball. Well, that one's on Blondo Chiqueno. He's the first player in the game to have 3 fouls, and he checks out for Reed Nottage as a result. Well, Nottage, 8.5 minutes off of the bench in the first half. McMillan. McMillan gets it from Coleman. Lancers playing tight to the Highlanders. McMillan tries it, but Armstrong gets a piece. And that's a shot clock violation. Well, again, the Lancers able to outlast NJIT. Mackay Gray checks back in as McMillan takes a seat. Well, McMillan, no points on the evening. Again, he's highly touted, but a freshman, so he'll have nights like this from time to time. Trying to figure things out at the college level. Taron Armstrong, what a pass to Batten. Tried to shoot it from the elbow. A little bit of a sloppy pass, but it eventually works out to Wade, and Taron Armstrong slows things down. Armstrong tries to split 3 Highlanders, too many there. And NJIT goes the other way. Gray, the big step. And a whistle away from the ball. Got a flopping foul on Wade. That's Wade's second. Well, Coleman makes the front end. We'll take a look at that. Flop called on Malik Wade. Contact there, but the ref rules he fell a little too easy. So a technical foul on Malik Wade. He yields a point for NJIT. Sullivan all the way and off the glass and good. Well done by Raheem Sullivan. Sullivan now with 3 points. Bad pass on the far side, but near side of your screen. And actually a foul there. Rick Croy says, all right. Well, the foul was on Nottage, his second. The Lancers already 3 team fouls. Sullivan starts out, plays to Coleman. Coleman from the elbow, too strong, doesn't get the bounce either. Taron Armstrong goes the other way. Armstrong out to Quintana. Batten gives it a go. Couldn't shoot. Armstrong, shallow. Batten swoops in to get the rebound, then he turns it over. So Gray, the arm in the right place at the right time. Coleman takes it. A little bit off the mark, Batten the other way. Lancers haven't scored a point in about 2 minutes, and Nottage, they throw it away there. Yep, he did. Wade checks out for Stone. Oh, an errant pass leads to a turnover against the Lancers. Been sloppy with the ball lately. 4 turnovers over the last 2.5 minutes. That's one of our second half changes. Lancers have not really improved in that regard. Osawe. Osawe again with 10 to shoot. Looks like Stone was called for a foul. Yep.
Foul called against the Lancers, number 32.
That's Stone's first foul. And now that's the Lancers' third team. Well, the technical foul notwithstanding that, a Lancers with 3. Let's go to Rick back in. Coleman backs in. Can't get the roll, but then it's touched home by Diakite. Oh, Solomon Diakite, one of our impact players, able to tip it home. Oh, he's got 8 points. The foul this time on Gray. That's his second.
That is his second.
Armstrong draws the contact on Makai Gray. And Armstrong at the line. It's his first missed free throw of the game. 2 for 3. Just 2 missed free throws on the season for Armstrong. Gets the back half.
Got one coming, Mike.
Lancers still hold the lead by 3. Last time NJIT had the lead was at 7:20 of the first. They get a pair there. Osawe.
It's on 24, Makai.
Armstrong, a little floater, bounces out. Tough luck that time. Actually, that was Diakite who got the bucket moments ago. And NJIT now a chance to get their first lead.
The book has it right.
Since 7:20 of the first half. Wide open look for Osawe, hesitated and misses it. I think that was an opportunity for a catch and shoot for NJIT, but didn't work out. Stone double teamed, kicks it out. Nice pass to Goodrick. Quintana finds Goodrick. The 2 first-year Lancers hook up for a big bucket. My goodness, what a pass. Osawe, as we have a foul in the paint. That one is on Trey Armstrong, his 3rd now. Well, moments ago, Stone to Quintana. Goodrick wide open for the slam. The Lancers a precarious 3-point lead.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Conventional wisdom says breakfast is the most important meal, But at Provider Food Services, we believe that every meal you enjoy with us is the most important meal. Voted number 1, this ideal drives us to bring you curated, chef-driven cuisine and composed meal experiences every single time. Whether you're dining with us or partnering with us, we want to give you the best and safest experience. So in these busiest of days, let's always enjoy the most important meal.
Well, welcome back to the CBU Event Center in Riverside. I'm Travis Van Oden. Let's take a look at the schedule ahead for the Lancers, brought to you by Provider Contract Food Service. CSUN comes to town on Tuesday, right here at the Events Center. And the Lancers headed on their first road game of the season at the University of Washington. Lancers then face off against Minnesota from the Big Ten, and then they'll either play UNLV or Southern Illinois, depending on how they do against Minnesota. Some good teams on the horizon. Couple of Power Fives in Washington and Minnesota. Excited to see CSUN come in on Tuesday. I'm a CSUN grad. Just a little moment of personal privilege there. Always fun to see CBU and CSUN go at it. At any rate, Lancers lead it by 3. Foul on Trey Armstrong before the break. And a buzzer beater there from Makai Gray. Holy Toledo, what a shot straight away by Gray. And we are all square. As Gray now has 5 points, make it 8 points with that three-pointer. The Lancers come up empty. Diakite to Coleman. NJIT again looks for that lead that has eluded them. Got an offensive foul on Coleman. That's Coleman's first foul of the game. Check this shot out from moments ago from the Highlanders. Makai Gray, relatively deep, but had to get it off in a hurry. There was only 1 second on the shot clock. Well done for Makai Gray. And Stone gives the Lancers the lead back. Stone now with 5 points. His first bucket from the floor tonight. Diakite. Contact. Well, that one was on Stone. It's Stone's second. The Lancers already with 5 team fouls. Solomon Diakite at the line. Diakite went 4 for 8 from the free throw line against St. Peter's, his first one tonight. As we talked about, as Wade checks in for the Lancers, and Hess, the former Lancer, checks in for NJIT. Hess did not play for the Lancers in 2018-2019. Just went to school here before transferring to Salt Lake College. And Diakite gets it. Diakite, the man from Mali who can speak 3 languages and 2 dialects. Very well versed and a great basketball player as well. Once again, we're square, 38-38. Goodrick thought about it. Creeps in a little bit on Diakite. Diakite strips him. There is Chiquinho, who's back in the game with 3 fouls. Goes hard and gets the pair. Chiquinho, his first 2 points of the night. Osawe leaves for Sullivan. NJIT keeps getting closer and closer, but Still unable to get that lead they've been looking for. Sullivan with 5 to shoot. He is a little bit off the mark. And a rebound, Diakite. Sullivan gets his instructions from Brian Kennedy. 7th year at the helm of NJIT. And a try for Coleman, too strong. Another board, this time for Sullivan. NJIT has just got to get points out of this. It's a 3rd kick at the can. Osawe to Sullivan. He loses it to Chiqueno. And Chiqueno then is fouled. Well, after all that, NJIT comes up empty. And a foul is on Sullivan, his first. So as we step aside, the Lancers still lead it by 2.
Doctors who care for you and about you. It's the Riverside Medical Clinic way. We're physician-owned. That means medicine is always practiced in a way that benefits the patient first. Incredible care is waiting at one of our 7 locations near you. Come feel the difference. We are Riverside Medical Clinic.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Back here at the CBU Event Center in Riverside, I'm Travis Van Nody. Close game continues. Take a look at some of Joe Quintana's handiwork. It's a nice deep 3-pointer. Quintana, 6 points, and both of them have come off of these 3-pointers. Quintana, his Lancer debut, transfer from LMU, having a pretty decent night. Coming out of the timeout. Foul called on Raheem Sullivan, his first. But just 3 for NJIT as a team. There is Quintana. Taron Armstrong almost slipped. Chiqueno kicks it out to Armstrong. Oh, he thought about it. Instead drives it in deep. And a bad pass is turned over to Osawe. Lancers a little gun shy on that possession. CBU led 31-26 at the half. They've had the lead since the 7:20 mark of the first half. Quintana strips it away. Gooderick all by himself. Gooderick, an emphatic bucket. He now has 14 on the night to lead everyone. That was all thanks, though, to Joe Quintana, able to force the turnover. DeGraff, who's back in the game. DeGraff goes to work on the other big. Batten kicks it out to McMillan. 3 seconds for Coleman. His shot too strong, and Batten able to get it. That's a big board for Riley Batten. Chiqueno slows things down. Now has an open lane, takes it. Just way too much space that time for Blondo Chiqueño. Chiqueño's got 6. Osawe looks to get it back. Coleman with 10 to shoot. No bucket, and he's called for traveling. Coleman checks out after that. It's been 3.5 minutes since NJIT has scored a point. Not a good time to have a drought. Meanwhile, it's a 6-0 run for the Lancers. They are 4 for their last 4. They look to stay hot. Goodrick. And Goodrick draws the foul. That's on Kel DeGraff, his first. Well, DeGraff, the reach-in foul. Batten to Goodrick. Quintana in motion. Splits a couple of Highlanders. Tough shot, and he draws contact. Good aggressiveness by the Lancers.
Foul call against Highlander, number 0, Raheem Sullivan. That's his second.
Well, there's Brian Kennedy. Was an assistant with NJIT for 4 years before becoming the head coach. His 7th year as a career .478 winning percentage. But back in 2018-2019 was the best year for NJIT. Program record 22 wins, 11 on the road, and 13 in non-conference. They're looking to get back to that level in 2018-2019. Kennedy's developed a good program at NJIT. Now, Quintana true from the line. But the Lancers up by 8. This is their biggest lead. Gray, and NJIT desperately needs a bucket, but Sullivan turns it over to Armstrong. Fed ahead to Goodrick, catch and shoot. It's rejected by Gray. Lancers still with it though, fresh 25. And they slow it down. NJIT's got to take care of the ball. 4 turnovers lately. And that shot well off the mark from Batten. Not really a deep threat, obviously. Lancers right now in good position. Just got to play smart basketball the rest of the way. Sullivan tries to go around a pick and roll. Lancers break it. Gray feeds it into the paint, and that's a bit of a hard foul on DeGraff. Batten got him. That's Batten's first foul.
First personal team foul, number 6.
A non-shooting foul. Stone gets back in the game. Ball inbounded by Sullivan. Diakite out to Coleman. Coleman back in the game. Diakite out to Coleman. Turns it over to Quintana. What a read. That was not easy to steal. Taron Armstrong wide open around Gray. Gets it. The Lancers stretch their biggest lead to 11 as Brian Kennedy calls for time. 11-0 run for CBU over the last 5 minutes.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no cloud hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Back again at the CBU Event Center. I'm Travis Van Noti. Things going in the opposite direction. Our NJIT. Let's take a look at our defensive play of the game, brought to you by Dutton Cadillac. Coleman turns it over to Quintana. That was not an easy steal. Taryn Armstrong finishes it off. Great basketball IQ there from Joe Quintana. Ever since it was 38-38, the Lancers have scored 11 straight, and NJIT can't get out of their own way. They've turned the ball over 5 times in that stretch as well. But NJIT desperately needs a bucket here. As Coleman bounce pass. Diakite triple team deflected by Armstrong, and Quintana's got it. And then Gray tips it out of bounds. And a timeout is called, so we'll go ahead and step aside once again. Lancers still lead it by 11.
Congratulations to CBU Men's Soccer.
When your heating and air conditioning system stops working, how do you know who to call? Call one of those big corporations and you're just a number. But at Magnolia Heating and Cooling, we treat everyone like family. That's because we're family owned and based here in Riverside. Your neighbors trust Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've earned a great reputation over the years. Call to experience the Magnolia difference.
For any heating and cooling repair, call 1-800-2-GET-AIR.
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Well, been a frustrating last 5.5 minutes for NJIT. So looking to get back in the game. A couple of crazy turnovers just before the break. Was last touched by Gray. And the Lancers inbound, up by 11. Stone leaves for Taron Armstrong. And a foul. That one's on Gray. That's his third. Again, the team's even foul-wise. Gray is the first Highlander with 3 fouls. Trey Armstrong's got 3. Chiqueno's got 3 for CBU. Armstrong inbounds with 20 to shoot. And, Diakite didn't realize that ball was up for the grabs. Of course, not his fault. Wasn't facing the ball. Could have been a steal for NJIT. Sullivan picks up his 3rd foul then. And the Lancers are in the bonus. Well, Sullivan down a little bit of foul trouble. Quintana 1-1. Earns himself a second. Quintana now 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. Gets them both, and now he's got 10. Well, it's the 2 newcomers for the Lancers really that have led the way. And Goodrick and Quintana. Goodrick with 14, Quintana with 10, and Taron Armstrong also with 11. So 3 Lancers double digits. Coleman from deep off the mark, and Armstrong pulls down the board. Armstrong, nice dribble behind the back. And he settles things down. Again, 3 Lancers in double digits. Diakite has 12. He's the only Highlander in double digits. 13-0 run for the Lancers over the last 6 minutes. They've taken control this one. Batten, turnaround shot, too strong. And Gray settles it down. The Lancers' biggest lead. Sullivan just able to keep it in. Sullivan again, 5 to shoot. He's got to hurry. Gray from deep. Got it. That was much needed for NJIT. And the Highlanders call timeouts. That's just what the doctor ordered to get them back in it a little bit. First points in just under 7 minutes. But NJIT continues to turn the ball over. 6 turnovers over the last 7.5 minutes. And they're still within reach. Just a 10-point difference. Should correct myself, actually. Earlier I said the Lancers had 10 turnovers. That was actually 10 points off of turnovers, as NJIT has been the team that has turned the ball over a lot more tonight. And there you see the big discrepancy now in points off of turnovers, 21-6. And a big reason why the Lancers hold a 10-point cushion. So, it hasn't been the Lancers that have had the turnover problem tonight. It has been NJIT. And that is carried over into the second half. Not obviously a recipe for success if you're NJIT. And just 1 timeout left now for the Highlanders. First Friday evening game of the season. The fans turned out. The crazies out in full force. Great to see the event center pretty much packed to the brims. You don't see a whole lot of empty seats at all here tonight. A great atmosphere. The Lancers have certainly used that energy to keep an arm's length against NJIT for a majority of the night. Goodrick and Quintana, what a duo they've been tonight. Quintana, and it rolls in. When it's going good, it's going good. Strong debut for Joe Quintana. Quintana now at 10 points. A foul underneath. That one's on Batten, his second. And now NJIT's in the bonus. Batten comes in late and certainly got a lot of arm there on Miles Coleman. Coleman took that technical foul earlier in the half, and he misses that time. So now 1 for 2. And everything gets magnified now for NJIT. They have to do the little things well. That includes making their free throws. He looks to get the back half. He does not. The Lancer faithful love it. And Coleman, the leading scorer last year for NJIT, cannot pull down the free throw. Obviously, they've been few and far between, but still only 57% tonight from the stripe for the Highlanders. Meanwhile, shot a little shallow. Trey Armstrong contested. And Sullivan goes the other way. Sullivan again. Coleman flashes through the lane. Diakite. Again, late in the shot clock, they gotta hurry, and they throw it away to Demir Faison. That has not been NJIT's friend either tonight. Kind of forcing themselves to shoot the ball late in counts. And on 3 or 4 occasions, they haven't even had a chance to do that. And credit the Lancers not giving a whole lot of good looks against NJIT, despite using up big portions of the shot clock as Batten backs into his opponent there, and that's an offensive foul. Well, Batten's now got 3. It looked like the feet were set there for Faison. But now Batten, Chiquinho, and Trey Armstrong each have 3 fouls. Gray and Sullivan 3 for NJIT. Coleman a deep 2. No good. Armstrong the other way. Still buckets real hard to come by for NJIT. A 16-3 run for the Lancers over the last 8.5 minutes. Gooderick to Chiquinho. Now the Lancers can eat up some shot clock if they want. It's looking pretty good for the Lancers at the moment. Gooderick, shallow. And a loose ball foul. The Lancers will be shooting when we come back.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Moreno Valley, California, and I've been with Altura Credit Union since 2017. Family time is extremely important. Being able to just pull my phone out and just go right on the app while the kids are over there doing whatever they're doing, I'm able to just go on the app really quick, transfer money, or check my account, see if my deposits went through right away. With my Ascend checking account, I'm also able to check my credit score. I don't ever have to worry about anything in my bank account. Did I mention it was free?
Popping like the top off a bottle and I ain't stopping yet. Baby, it's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life.
Introducing bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Only 3.5 to play. It's looking good for the Lancers. Doing big part to our player of the game. It's Hunter Goodrick in his Lancer debut. 14 points to lead everyone. A board and 5 steals as Goodrick so far has gone 7 of 11 overall from the floor. Oh, Goodrick, the South Dakota transfer, his Lancer debut, and he has absolutely shined tonight. And that last one, the slam off of a turnover here in the second half. A second half dominated by the Lancers, 16-3 run. Before we headed to break, Demir Faison was called for his first foul. And Batten at the line. Gets it. Well, Batten, perfect 7 for 7 now on the season from the free throw line. Went 6 for 6 against Long Beach State. And he continues to be perfect. Well, the Lancers have done very well, obviously, tonight from the free throw line. 75%. This is the biggest lead now, 15. Really a combination of things. NJIT not taking care of the basketball. The Lancers being aggressive and making their shots. Have led to now a runaway for CBU. Three seconds to shoot for Quintana. Oh, he gets it. That might be the dagger for NJIT. 21-3 run. Well, Sullivan looks to at least get him back a little bit. Rattles out, rebound Goodrick. And here comes Armstrong.
By yourself.
28 second half points for the Lancers. Just 15 for NJIT.
Foul called against Highlander, number 24.
Well, the foul on Gray, it's his fourth. And Taron Armstrong on the line as Diakite checks out.
Taron Armstrong at the line. Shooting 1-on-1.
And it is a 1-on-1. The Lancers get the rebound anyway. Armstrong cleans up his missed free throw. Foul away from the ball. That one's on Taron Armstrong. That's his first. The Lancers up by 18, not a problem. And another whistle. NJIT turns it over. Faison not strong underneath the basket. And this continues to be the theme for NJIT. Not sharp with the ball. Quintana, shallow, and a rebound Sullivan. Oh, last minute of play. Good hands there from Hess, again the former Lancer. time it goes out of bounds. We get another turnover from NJIT. What a second half for the Lancers. After it was 31-26 at the half. CBU just blows the doors off of the Highlanders. We're in the second 20 minutes. Well, Batten called for the foul, his fourth. And now the double bonus for NJIT. It'll be too little too late. Hess able to get it. Elise Hess gets a pair against his former team. His first 2 points of the night. And the Lancers will dribble it out. Well, what a second half of the Lancers. They win it by 16. And they get their first win of the season. Meanwhile, NJIT drops to 0-2. Hunter Goodrick, what a night, 14 points, leads away for the Lancers. They were just not to be denied in the second half. Really showed their worth against NJIT. So the Lancers, next game, they're going to stay home, finish off this 3-game homestand. They're going to face off against CSUN right here on ESPN Plus in the Event Center Tuesday at 7 p.m. And be sure to switch over to the radio side for the post-game show on Fox Sports AM 1350 with Braden Bell. So thanks for watching. I'm Travis Van Otte saying so long from Riverside, California, where the final score is California Baptist 59, make it to 59, and NJIT 43. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
FedEx Stadium is basketball.